Hi, everyone. My name is Laura Fridmanson of Activate Corporate Relations and Training, and we are on another episode of the Indigenous Entrepreneurs Network, where I get the pleasure of interviewing exciting Indigenous people who are starting and running businesses across Canada. Today, I'd like to introduce you to our guest, Daphne Sinclair. Daphne is with White Thunderbird Consulting, located on the Hollow Water First Nations Reserve, and she and her family live in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And thank you so much for being here today with us, Daphne. Can you tell us
Hi.
a little bit about yourself and your business?
Yeah, for sure. No problem. My name's Daphne Sinclair, and I'm from Hollow Water First Nation. And my business is consulting with housing, and it's both on and off reserve. So, on reserve is mostly governance and structure, whatever help First Nation needs. And the urban or off reserve is more or less project development.
Oh, fantastic. And you
Hmm.
have a long work history in this area, don't you? How long have you been doing this type of work for?
I've been working in housing for a number of years, probably about 15 years. And most of it was with the tribal council and partly assisting First Nations directly on reserve. So it's like more or less at the front lines and the day-to-day housing work. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really exciting. And it sounds like you've got a lot of expertise in this area, which is probably why you decided to start your own business. So,
I did. I
yeah,
did.
what gave
Yeah.
you the idea? What made you want to launch off on your own?
I guess it's because I love this work. I really do, and I find the more closely I work with First Nations on reserve, especially, the more ideas I have, the more I guess I get better visuals when I play the advisory role. That is the role I'm best suited to. And I guess what I wanted to do is I wanted to help more First Nations, not just like one at a time. And so I figured I'd do this work by incorporating myself and starting my own consulting business, so I could sort of be at working with a number of First Nations at any given time, not just necessarily like focusing on
Right,
one
on
at a
one.
time. And like that's the whole idea of um, of going this route.
Oh, that's fantastic. You want to spread the love around. I like it.
I do. I always use the term of uh, like acting like an octopus, because an octopus
Sure,
has 8 arms or 8 tentacles, or
sure.
so, and just being able to just sort of um, jump into one community and another community and just go from there it's good. It's great. I like it.
And you're also, from what I've known of you so far, you're a big relationship person. So it's important to you to develop those relationships with each client and the people who you're working with at each nation, and that I'm sure is going to make your success lengthy, and you're going to be able to touch a lot of lives, which is, so it seems to me that's what's most important to you.
It is. Thank you very much. That definitely is.
And so, how are you finding? You started your business when? 9 months ago, or how long ago now?
uh, yeah, I officially started um I guess around December, January. I wasn't really, December is kind of like a hard time to start any business for,
Yes,
because it's Christmas time, and,
for sure.
communities are in Christmas mode and
Yes.
celebrations. So I really wanted to start after Christmas. And so I did. I started around January, February, and just trying to start getting word out there and
Yeah,
talking with people and
for sure.
networking. And so it worked, and I did start a project with a Northern First Nation,
Oh, that's great.
and it went really well. It's like
Oh,
I'm really happy with it. Like it
that's
was
amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about it, just really briefly?
Yeah, for sure. So it was a partnership between the First Nation and they have a company, not them, but there is a company in their First Nation, construction company. So what we did is we got together and we put some ideas together, and we went and through the national housing strategy. So we put together this application, and it's still, because it takes a while,
Mm.
um, it's still in certain phases. Like we've gotten past probably a third hurdle or a third phase for the approval process, and we were picked as one of the communities that is going to be approved out of a whole bunch of
Oh,
projects. So
congratulations.
thank you. So I was really happy about that, and that was really exciting because it confirms, I guess, my skills and how I'm able to put uh, work on these projects and put them together. And I do have a lot of work history with CMHC, which is Canada Mortgage and Housing in our
Nice.
area. So I was able to navigate through a lot of those, a lot of the, I guess, the content that they
Sure.
require. So that is sort of where my strong suit is in
Ah,
that area. And so I want to keep on going with it. And I'm talking with a couple other um, clients, I guess I want to call
uh-huh.
them.
Uh-huh. Sure.
And yeah, and so I want to be able to work on this type of project more often. And it helps me to understand other communities' needs and the dynamics and what would work, and sort of have that communication with the funder as well. And yeah, so it just helps make my business much more validating, or much more,
Sure.
so I'm able to say yes, I did that.
Uh-huh, absolutely. You've got some definite wins to speak to, and it must just feel so good too when you
Oh,
see
it
when you
does.
saw that notification come in that you were one of the few chosen, because that really is a testament to the knowledge and the advisory services that you're able to provide. And
Yes.
and that's like how many years of work history and expertise you had, it shows, right? It definitely
Yeah.
seems to be you're applying it and it is helping people. So that's fantastic.
Thank you. I really do, um, especially being on my own, and I'm really now appreciating my networking, the people I talk with, clients. I'm really appreciating how everything comes together and how it's a team effort.
Sure.
It's so awesome. It's just really good. I really love the collaboration.
Wow. And what sort of product projects are do you see coming down the pipeline? Like what the nature of your work is different, I'm sure, for every First Nation, given what their housing needs are, right?
For
So
sure.
what's your, like, I know that there's one specific area of housing that you see is going to be trending. And can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I guess to me, I find it's still a trend, which is project development in urban locations, only
Right.
because Winnipeg is, in Manitoba, we have 63 First Nations, and
Okay.
a big majority of our First Nation people in each community
Mm.
live either in Winnipeg or in urban locations. And
Right.
so, it's, I think this is a good location to have these developments happen. And the other
Mhm.
awesome thing is real estate.
Mm.
If First Nations start investing more
Sure.
in real estate in urban locations, then
Yeah.
it'll benefit them, because especially in the right location, their money, like the property value goes up, and that means your value increases.
Absolutely. One of
So
the best ways to create prosperity is through real estate. And it seems to me now there are a lot of First Nations across Canada that are getting more interested in investing in real estate. So you also seem like to be in a good place if you're going to specialize in that area too.
yeah, yeah, that's definitely real. Like I really like to I really love this area because I myself, I was at one point considering real estate,
Hmm.
to be a realtor.
Sure.
So I love homes. I love looking
Yeah.
at the different show homes and seeing what's in them
Yeah,
and
me too.
Pinterest.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. You read my mind. You totally read
Oh
my mind.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so the other thing that's not really explored, and I'm hoping it should, is for on reserve especially, would be more like some of our history, bringing back certain
Mm,
history into our
yes.
homes, you know.
Yes.
So there's a lot of so much opportunity. Housing on
Sure.
reserve is not just building houses.
Right.
It's a whole lot more. Like it's the administration, it's
Sure.
seeing what the issues are, where things need to be worked on.
Mm,
If it has to be like starting from the ground up, your governance, your structure, and um, trying to improve services and how to work with your fellow members and try to, yeah, so it's not just, oh, I
mhm.
understand there is such a need, like there's such a big need for housing on reserve, and
That's
it's not
yeah.
just that, it's the infrastructure as well.
Mm,
um the more I notice communities, it, our populations are growing so much,
mhm,
and sometimes some of our communities are not located in the best areas either,
mhm.
so there's a lot more work that it would need to be done in order to have um, better ground to locate our homes, to build them.
Sure.
So yeah, so they're like, I just have a whole lot of ideas, and I also have a website now, so, and it's been pretty, like, I'm kind of monitoring it a little bit, and it's not, sometimes it gets pretty active for
Oh,
people
that's
looking at
good.
it, and I'm really happy about that.
That's a great sign. And so obviously the word's getting out. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I'm really happy and excited about that.
oh, congrats on that.
Thank
And what
you.
is the obviously would it be whitethunderbirdconsulting.com or did you abbreviate it?
Pretty close.
Yes. What is
White
it?
Thunderbird, sorry, yeah, White Thunderbird Consulting
Inc.
Inc.com.
Inc.com. Okay, excellent. And so what have you found since you've been in started your business? Are there resources that you've been able to access, or are you thinking about maybe taking some marketing education or going for perhaps financing? What have you thought about in those
Um,
areas, or what have you seen that's available?
I haven't, like, especially with COVID right now, it's like
Yes, of course.
things are so that's more of a risk I'm not willing to go into, for because I don't know, like, our we have no idea what's, like, if there's going to be a second wave and
Hmm.
things are going to shut down again. We have no idea, so I kind of don't want to. I'm okay just sort of taking on
Hmm.
clients and doing work as I need to.
Right.
And
So you don't want to go into debt, is what you're saying with
yeah,
financing
that's
or
right.
anything
I
like
don't
that.
want to
Yeah.
go into debt. So
Okay.
it's just not, I don't think it's financially or economically, I guess, the right time for something like
Yes.
that.
I hear what you're
So
saying.
it's just a matter of trying to be patient and try to get those networks happening and talking to
Yeah.
people, and and just sort of having a conversation, and let's just sit down and let me know what it is that you need, and I will let you know if I can help you or not.
Hmm.
Majority of the time I can, because I understand certain issues in many of our communities. It's not just housing; it kind of goes into a lot of other things as well. Um, and so, yeah, I'd rather just have a conversation, and hope that if they'd want to take the time to sit with me,
Hmm.
um, and we could talk.
Fantastic. That makes total sense. And it's there's also I totally understand not wanting to go into debt. There are grants that are available as well for especially Indigenous entrepreneurs. So you might want to look into that avenue too, because those could be forgivable where you apply for the grant and you don't have to pay it back. So
For sure.
That's always great at being able to access those types of resources. And so what is your vision in 2 to 5 years from now, Daphne?
Hmm.
Where do you see yourself? Where do you see your business?
um, I'm hoping that I I'm able to, I guess, um, have a positive impact with some communities.
Mm.
Um, I'd rather take that the outside looking in approach, or I'd rather build the tools that they need and hand them over to them and go on the playing field, run with those tools.
Mm.
I'm here as your advisor. I'm here to help, and then I could just sort of see how things are playing out, and then I could sort of help them along to get their goals, get what is that they want, you know
Oh,
more
that's
of a visualness in that aspect. But also, I would really hope that communities would actually go the route of real estate, only because it's a win-win, and it's
mm-hmm.
a way to trickle revenues into your communities.
Sure.
Because sometimes
Absolutely.
we don't have enough for revenues in our own communities within each other. So the
Mm.
best way is to go to where the revenues could be made, and then filter it back to your community and
Absolutely.
for programming and whatever else that's needed.
For sure. And then also building up entrepreneurship like what you're doing, that also very much contributes to the community, doesn't it? So hopefully,
Definitely.
are you planning on taking on employees at some point? Are you going to, do you want to grow the business, or do you want to stay basically solo?
It depends. It depends on which direction I would go. Like at some point, I was actually looking at becoming
Mm,
a builder of mini homes. I wanted
right.
to go that route. Like I was looking at floor plans. I was drafting on floor plans just on apps that you could buy on an iPad, and then just kind of having some visuals, and
Mhm.
um, trying to also incorporate a bit of history of our housing. Um, Even like plank housing, or not necessarily log homes, because I don't know. It's just I think it would be better just to start off, have a certain starting point, and then build on your product as you go along.
Absolutely. Makes perfect sense. And I can see that you're being very methodical about how you're starting your business and how you want to grow it. And that is so smart when you, because starting out as a solopreneur, there's a lot of different things we have to think about, and that a lot of hats we have to wear.
Yes.
So it's really important that you crawl before you walk and walk before you run. And it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, I do have dreams. I do have visuals of what things could look like, but I understand I don't want to just put all my eggs in one basket,
Sure.
and not know the outcomes of some things. So I'd
Sure.
rather just, okay, let's just take it slow and walk this
Incremental
in.
growth. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And it sounds very strategic to me. So, what would you say to, let's say, another Indigenous colleague or youth said to you, Daphne, I'm thinking about starting my own business, but I don't know if I can do it. Like, I don't know if I have the right idea or what avenue I would take. What would you say to them? What sort of advice would you give to someone else who's looking to
um
start their business?
for sure. I guess it depends on what kind of a business it is. If it's like a shop or house or something, then I would say do as much research as you can
Mm,
on your product, on other businesses that have that type, or if it's something like a consulting business specializing in a certain area,
mm,
then I would suggest probably doing what I guess I did, would be the networking, talking to
sure.
people, having a lot of your material ready and prepared. Yeah, there's a lot of, I guess you have to sort of be resourceful and patient as
Mm,
well, and just sort
definitely.
of just observe, and then just keep going, keep on every day, try something different, whether it be reaching out to somebody, following up. Yeah, it's just keep it in front of you, like keep it right there.
Right.
You know,
The
don't
goal.
put it off to the side, because then life sort of sometimes has a way of getting in a way, and
Absolutely.
you know, the momentum needs to be there right in front of you. That's my thought.
I so agree 100%. Daphne, I couldn't have said that better myself. And in addition to my marketing agency, I also teach business education to Indigenous entrepreneurs on First Nations land. And I always tell my students that are just starting out, know what it is that you're offering, know your product inside and out, know how it's going to help your target audience, understand your customer and their needs, and understand your marketplace, right? Just like what you said, you have to do the research to find out who it is that you're targeting and exactly what they want in relation to the product or service that you're offering. So, and then the perseverance piece is the biggest. I think whether you're an employee working your way up the corporate ladder or you're an entrepreneur, let's face it, in life, persistence and perseverance is what gets us where we want to go. And having a really clear picture of that goal, right? Just like what you were explaining earlier about, you have this vision for your business and how you want to positively affect change in your industry. And you've got some really innovative ideas in terms of from a real estate perspective, as well as building and creating sort of the cultural components into the housing starts that you want to incorporate. So I think that, it's all about really tapping that creativity as well, and being able to express yourself, express your ideas, and knowing how you're going to be able to help people and staying the course, like you said.
That's right. Totally. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a professional at this, I'm just sort of trying to stay on top of things and trying to just keep going and, being positive and keeping a good momentum on things. And I don't know, I think attitude plays a big part as well.
Oh, it does 100%, because there are those days, and I'm sure you can probably relate. And I've been in business 20 plus years, and I still have these days where I think, holy smokes, nothing is going right today. Like, why did I go self-employment again? Like, tell me. Right? And sometimes you just want to go, oh, I just want to crawl back in bed and throw the covers over my head. But, the whole idea is you have to pick yourself up and put on your big girl pants and get out there and make stuff happen, because nobody else is going to do it for us, right?
That's right.
We're so responsible for what our life looks like and what our business turns out to be. So
I would love to be able to hire, have a good little team of people and just keep going and expand, and even if possible going into other provinces to help them. I would really love that. That is like another, besides like the building of actual homes, but that is the other part of providing the services, is to it would be to have a team of people instead of just kind of solo.
Right. But I mean, you have to start off somewhere, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I love this. Like, I'm so glad that I chose to go this route. Yeah.
Oh, Daphne, I'm so happy for you. And I'm so happy for your current and future clients too, that they're going to have such an incredible person working with them with the expertise that you have. So it sounds to me a win-win all the way around. And I can't wait to follow the growth that you're going to have in your business. I totally have all the confidence in the world that I'm going to see you do some really amazing things. And so we have to stay in touch. And I also would love it if we, in maybe a year or so, if we can do another check-in and let everybody know that is watching the Indigenous Entrepreneurs Network what Daphne Sinclair is up to and what your growth has been like and all the exciting things that have happened to you. So yeah, let's do that.
I would love that. Yeah, for sure. I really love that.
Okay, done. Well, thank you so much, Daphne, for being here today with us, and thank you everybody who's watching. I think that can probably agree that Daphne shared some really inspiring information today on what she's doing with her in her business and in the area of housing too. Hopefully, you learned something there. And if you liked what you heard and you would like to watch more videos like this, please subscribe in the area below. And I promise we'll bring Daphne back again in the future. And Daphne, thanks.
Yes,
And
thanks,
we shall
Lola.
be chatting with you real soon.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Okay. Thanks, Daphne. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.